Good morning, everyone. We are back at the property, and today we actually have everything we're gonna need to start working on our feature wall. It is such a beautiful day in the mountains. If you can see behind me, it's already fall, guys. We have so much leaf change right now. Everything is so beautiful. It's approaching winter, and so it's a little chilly today, and I just can't wait to get inside the dome. Eric is down at the bottom getting some tools and getting everything we're gonna need to start working on the wall today. Okay, so last time we were here, we started to prime the wall and we were using a regular kind of just multi-purpose short nap roller, and that was giving us a bit of a kind of orange peel effect, and that is not the look we are going for. We really want this wall to be smooth and sleek. We're going to be adding a design feature to this wall and kind of playing with different shades and I just can't wait to get it done. However, we did a little research and we immediately realized that we needed to use a foam roller so that we can get that smooth texture that we wanted. We don't normally work with MDF, but for this project, we decided to go for it because we wanted something really smooth. And also this wall is not going to be exposed to much moisture. On the back side of this wall is the bathroom inside this door, and we're going to be doing shiplap in here, so we won't have to worry about moisture getting to it. But we are going to get working on both sides today. Eric is going to start measuring out and cutting for the actual shiplap. The only portion that needed to be puttied was the seam that we had over the door, and Eric used actual car Bondo on there and got that sanded down so smoothly that you're not even going to be able to tell that there was a seam there. So we're going to get this door up real soon also, because we bought our trimming and everything we need to pack the door out, and that's going to be real interesting to see up there because we got this kind of textured glass bifold door, and we thought that that was an awesome choice just because we don't have a lot of space to turn into the room or have the door open into the bathroom. So it's going to be perfect being able to have that door just off to the side. I'm really glad that we just did a small portion and stopped to check it out, because we would have been really disappointed had we used all of that paint and had to clean it off, because the whole idea of this project is actually to keep it really smooth and sleek, so it gives off a very modern and kind of luxurious look. And we were using a 3/8 nap, which is pretty much all purpose and you can use it on any project, but we're kind of getting this orange peel effect, and that is not the look we're going for. So as you guys can tell, as soon as I saw that happening, we went and kind of just wiped all of that away to try to smooth it back out. And we're going to purchase a foam roller, and hopefully that gives us better results, but we definitely did not want this textured effect. So we're gonna wipe all that stuff away and we're gonna start over with foam. So excuse us while we get ourselves together and we get a foam roller, and we'll be back to complete this project. So this is the difference in the rollers that we had. We originally started off with a green one, which you can tell it is so fluffy and fuzzy. I even had some lint rolling off into my primer, and the yellow one is a 9-inch foam roller, and it says ideal for ultra smooth surfaces. So I'm really hoping that it works out. We are still working on our feature wall, and we got it all primed yesterday. We even got some shiplap on the kitchen side done yesterday, and I was really worried because we had to get a actual foam roller for the wall, because as we were priming we realized that we were getting this kind of orange peel effect, and it was really giving off a texture on this wall, and we did not want that. So we halted the whole production and we went and got a foam roller. Now we actually have the wall as close to smooth as possible. Right now Eric is working on putting some trim on the wall, and that's going to actually help us be able to put our door in hopefully real soon and just start to finish off the look. We have a design feature that we're going to be putting on this wall. We do know that we're going to probably have a slower process now that we've got to the actual building stage, but this is the fun part for us. We love to build, we love to get creative, so I'm really excited to get back to work today and start to see this entire thing unfold. We're using a mix of 3.5 inches and a 1.5 inch trim on this wall, and that is because the 1.5 inch is actually going to be used for the design feature, and then we're going to have the 3.5 inch as the trim along the bottom and the top of this wall. Now, I will tell you guys that the concept of design that we're using on the wall is not, it's not original. People are definitely doing design features on the wall, but I will say that Eric spent almost an entire night drawing out to scale the design that we're going to use. So I will say that our design that we actually drew up is to pretty much mimic our insulation kit, and it wasn't so much something that we saw on Pinterest and decided to duplicate. So we're gonna have a kind of geometric wall for the headboard and our design feature wall, and our entire inspiration just came from the way the insulation kit just kind of wraps around and all of the triangles that we have in the dome already. So we wanted to kind of mimic that, and so I can't wait to get it up because it is pretty much from our own hearts for this project. And this is my most passionate project right now in the property because it not only serves as a feature wall, it's also going to be the headboard and just the anchor of the entire space. So I'm excited to see this go underway. And I also know once we get working on this wall, we can put in the bathroom door, and that's going to be pretty awesome. And it's really going to start to allow the entire room to take shape. So stick with us, guys. If you have not subscribed, perfect time for you to do it because we're getting into the build. We're doing it right now. You can see how we transform this place into a luxury Airbnb glamping experience. So we're starting to kind of draw on the wall, the pattern that we came up with. And it is so different taking what you've put on paper or what you have in your head and trying to transfer it to the wall. Once you draw something out, I mean, you can try to get it to scale as much as you want, but once you're working with the actual area that you're going to be doing the design on and you have to work around trim and doors, it tends to get a little bit tricky. We've been playing with this for a little bit now. Of course, I cannot stress to you guys enough how visual me and Eric are. Him worse than me. He literally likes everything measured out to the T. We've been here for a little bit, not too long, but we're spending a lot more time trying to measure out and map this entire project out. And I could appreciate that because once we actually start cutting and going into the design, I think we're going to be able to get it up a lot faster because we'll be able to just mimic the actual drawing that we have on the wall. We're literally trying to figure this out onto the wall. Now right here we have our doorway for the bathroom, and these two little boxes here are nightstands, and this is kind of just pillows that will line up the bed. The actual wall is going to be the headboard, and up here we're going to have our mini split over the bed. So we have to work all those things into consideration when it comes to measuring everything out. Now that we have the entire design onto the wall, we can kind of measure out where we're going to put our additional screws because we wanted to wait so we can kind of hide them behind the trim and where the actual boards would be laying, because we're really not trying to spend a lot of time doing spackle and sanding. So right now Eric is just measuring out where the studs are and where we can put additional screws to secure the wall. So if you notice, we really only have screws on the inside of where we have a board going, and that's going to save us a ton of work and just a ton of mess from having to spackle and sand everything down. We will have probably a few that we're gonna have to make sure that they're hidden, but for the majority of them, they are on the inside of where we're gonna have a board. We added this MDF strip here at the bottom to kind of tack out the trim or baseboard that we're gonna put at the bottom. We kind of wanted to sit out a little further than the actual slots that we're gonna put on the wall to kind of encase it, and I think that's gonna give it the 3D effect that we're looking for. That looks so nice. Having the vision in your head compared to seeing it on the wall is such a difference. I already love that we kind of have this layered 3D effect, and once we get the slots on the wall, it is going to look so awesome. We're starting to put a few of the slots on the wall. We really don't have enough to get into the project today. We really only bought enough to kind of do the trim and to just kind of see what size we wanted to go to. Also, we were really concerned about using the 1.5 or 2 inch, and we bought a small amount of both of them just to try it out. And I think we're definitely going to go with the 1.5 because it allows to see the design a little bit better. So we started putting a few of them on the wall. I'm really excited because it's starting to look so good already. You can kind of see how it's going to turn out, or it's going to put this third one on here, and that's going to cover a lot of those screw holes, and so we won't have to putty a bunch of those. Another cool thing we discovered through measuring is the fact that each one of our triangle slots are going to be about 2 feet or so long. So we'll be able to get 4 slots out of one complete board. And that's important because we don't like a lot of waste. We like to make sure we buy what we need. And we're really trying to save as much as we can as we get to the end of this project because we still have to furnish the entire place, and we are definitely working on a budget. So if you can see here, we kind of have our crossbar going, and then you can see here where it's drawn on the wall where the triangle is going to basically meet and sit between both of these boards. I love the way this bottom trim and baseboard kind of worked out. We really wanted this wall to pop, and so having this kind of 3D stair step effect is so nice. It's gonna look so awesome once we get the paint. The trim is still gonna be staying white, so that is going to just pop off of the color that we're using, and you can tell we kind of have everything lined up. When we do get the other slots, it's just going to be a matter of cutting them down. They're pretty much all the same size, and then we get them fastened to the wall and get it painted, and I think that's going to look so awesome. We have the spot mapped out for the mini split at the top. Everything is measured out. We're going to work as far as we can today with the amount that we have, but this thing is taking off and it's looking so awesome. So pretty much the solution to every building problem is measuring. And although you like to try and do things that could possibly allow you to move quicker, measuring is not a part to be skipped, because now we have some boards that are too long and too short, and we're taking extra time to have to figure out where they can fit. But that's an easy fix, because now hopefully Eric just measures every single one. It might take extra time, but in actuality, it's going to cause us to not be making mistakes and not have to stop to try and figure the mistake out. All right, y'all, we've gotten pretty far with this project. We're almost done. Eric had to go to the bottom to use the table saw to cut a few pieces down, but as you can tell, all of the triangles are in. I love this thing. Having this design in our minds is totally different than seeing it on the wall. And now that we've got it transferred onto the wall, I am so excited that we decided to just be led by the insulation kit and to just let the dome kind of speak for itself. As you guys look around, you can tell that the entire theme of the dome is pretty much triangles, from the skylight to the insulation kit, that it literally dictated that we were going to use a triangular kind of wall feature. And having this on paper is completely not as satisfying as seeing it in person. I cannot wait to actually get this painted and to see just the way this wall pops and how it comes to life once the paint is on there. And we have the shiplap on the other side of this wall. Of course, we have to put the cabinets and everything in there, but we are making so much progress and this wall is almost done. So as you can tell, this corner, pretty much the problem is in this area where all of the boards tend to want to collide. And so we want to make sure that we have a complete trim around the door. But in this corner, everything is just such close quarters that the trim we have for this side is literally right on the door trim. So Eric is having to use the angle finder to figure out other angles that we can cut this trim in, just so everything doesn't overlap right here in this area. The drawing literally is where every board is going to lie. And so this board here is crossing to here. This one here is coming up here. And it's also in the area where the side trim is going to be. So that's going to be real fun for him to figure out. So because everything in the dome is so unconventional, meaning it is not as it seems, everything is an awkward shape or size. There's always corners that are going to be needing extra attention. So right now we are having to sort of build out our trimming before we even apply it to the actual wall, because once we put it on there, we won't even have space for adjustment. So Eric is literally measuring out our corners where we're going to be using sort of these brackets that he's building that is going to act as a trim to seal off our corners and to just make everything symmetrical. So we have the first part of that installed already. It looks like he's going to just allow the trim to go on and then worry about adjusting the actual door trim. Pretty much we're just going to have to go section by section in this corner. So we pretty much got this entire side trimmed in on the corners. Like I said, I think he decided to just go ahead and get the corners done first, and then we'll come back and add these extra trim pieces and wall slats in this section. But I'm really curious to see what he's going to do around the doorway. I for sure thought that he was going to square off the door and then allow the trim to kind of go into that, but I'm curious to see how it's going to all come together. But at least the trim is on. We're pretty much done with the entire wall feature, with the exception of the right corner where Eric is working right now, and also with the trim that goes around the doorway. But everything else turned out so good in terms of getting everything up. We're putting the AC over the bed, so pretty much right where you see that rectangular piece is where we're going to mount the mini split, and this entire wall here is going to basically house the bed and nightstands and just be the focal point and center area of the entire dome. So we wanted to make sure that it was going to be a feature that would stand out and that would really kind of bring the luxury and bring the design to the dome. So we went ahead and did this kind of triangular design, and that is just to kind of mimic what's already going on in the dome in terms of the insulation kit and also the skylight. There's tends to be this kind of geometric pattern already going on in the dome, so this really made us go with this design and want to bring that triangular feature onto the wall also. Alright guys, we are looking everything over right now and it looks so good. I don't even know if this video is doing justice right now for this entire wall. I can't wait for the bathroom door to go in because it is a beautiful bifold glass door encased in kind of trimming. It's really nice. And of course, me and Eric are right now debating should we leave the feature wall white, and we're gonna have a lot of trim in here. So there is gonna be a lot of white in here, and of course we have the shiplap on the other side that we dare not to paint. I don't know, I'm kind of confused. I really do like the stark white of it, but I do feel like it would benefit from some color, and we do some white play when it comes with the bed and the sheets. I'm not sure. I'm trying to not go into a country farmhouse theme here. We kind of have this kind of luxury boho, I think with a touch of island, like even with the rattan and wicker stuff we're bringing in. But this thing is looking so good, and I wish I can get you guys' opinions on should we leave the wall white or should we paint it. I don't know, we gotta sleep on it. But as far as the design feature itself, I can definitely say I'm happy with the way it turned out.